Hello and welcome to Hyperefficient Startup, Episode 8, also known as Episode 7.5. Please enjoy it. It was recorded yesterday, but no one has to know. I have discovered this thing, Anna's library. So Anna's archive, sorry. So this is a good URL, and this is something that replaces OneLib or zlib as it used to be called, cringingly with the Russian invasion of Ukraine. It's a bit cringe, but it was called this way way before. This is an amazing project. It archives the whole human knowledge, and you should use it. You should donate it. Be careful about using VPN. Obviously, I'm using Tor. You just explore the website. That's all I will say. Just explore the website. Make your decisions about how to use it yourself. And the reason why I had to go there is that it's impossible to buy DRM-free books in our universe, in our reality. So there's a particular book which I bought as an audio book and I listened to. It's called Gap Selling, which I mentioned several times actually. So I reread it, re-listened to it, late last week. And I was like, okay, well, my current project as far as business is concerned is to create a gauntlet of content that my marketing people and my sales people can use and that I can use to inform the angles at which I attack prospecting to start, and at the angles at which I attack sales or gap selling, because I really like to try that approach. So I really need to build up this content. I mean, we have a lot of content as it stands, but I do need to build it up and build it up in a more systematic way. So when it comes to this, there's very few books that I figured I need to reread and consolidate to kind of find the intersections between smart people talking about the theory of sales, the theory of positioning, etc. And by the way, April Danforth, I think, with a positioning book, she's not on the list. She's very smart, but her appearances when she talks about positioning are way better than her book. I'm sorry, it's it's great to think about positioning, yes, but it was. I'm sorry to single her out, but it's like it was a huge disappointment when I read the positioning book because of the contrast, her speeches and her eloquence and the importance of positioning that she defends and she articulates. Yeah? It's all very beautifully articulated, and you believe it. You see the value in it, and then the book was a bit too anecdotal and a bit after all this hype, it was a bit not enough. Yeah. So, but anyway, April Danforth, probably I will rewatch some of her interviews. Yes, but the rest, yes, Jamie Levy, Hormozy. Hormozy is a funny guy, no? It's like the cringe lord, right? But he's super fucking smart. Like, my friend who graduated from Stockholm School of Economics, worked in consulting, like proper big consulting, and now he has his own consultancy. He was saying, like a friend of his told him that they watch Hormozy, or read Hormozy, and he was like, "Are you crazy? This guy is cringe as fuck." And then he gave him a chance, and no, Very smart guy. Then of course the Sousa is classic. Well, I think it's classic. It's modern classic. Yeah, it's like the kind of the gap between, no pun intended, the bridge between the old school sales tactics and modern day sales tactics is a very nice, very strong book. Then of course Keenan with the gap selling is very good. It's also interestingly very in line with the way I intuitively was selling when I was a consultancy, right? In 2015, I intuitively was kind of just generating value and doing concierge stuff as a sales guy. I would create so much value for the customers without being their servant, that they would be like, you know what, also here is an information system for you to try to make it, see if it's good enough, and then get a big contract. This was like the trajectory that happened more than once for me. And so the gap selling really struck the chord. Actually, maybe I want to add this book to it. Company of One. Maybe I want to add this book. Sorry, this is cringe. I don't know. The world of Amazon, no? Yeah. Maybe add this. So with this book I skipped first half of it because this is exactly my thoughts about business, and the principle and the idea behind the way that I'm running business. So yeah, like and I think I may be forgetting something. So let's actually have a look. I'm opening my drive and going through my bookshelf. Oops. You wish. Opening nonfiction and business to check. Yeah, I remembered everything. Oh, except for Jamie Levy. I didn't mention her. Okay, so this one is weird. This one is called UX Strategy. And it's like, what? What does this have to do with sales? But actually, this book is an amazing book that talks about product strategy as a whole. And it doesn't just talk about product strategy in an abstract terms. It talks about the way that it should be implemented, right? For example, before even mentioning user experience for the first time, she's saying, okay, to talk about experience, you have to first talk about users, yes. And then she dedicates a bit, to validated user research, which is amazing, right? So this ties really well into like the conventional sales wisdom about, okay, your product has to solve real problems, etc. And here she talks about the way to qualify your user profile, your customer profile. So this is not even talking about qualifying leads. Yeah, it talks about qualifying people you want to interview. Yeah. And then building the knowledge about your user and validating your view of what you're doing, of the value of your project, for your product, sorry, this way. Yeah, so like this can be easily this can be easily used as a textbook for validation and for understanding what to ship, and how the shipped thing will do what the users want it to do. So this is a bit of a weird one. We have like 1, 2, 3 cringe people, right? And cringe books, which are amazing because they're golden, but people are cringe, books are cringe, right? And then this surprise, Jamie Levy, beautiful, absolutely amazing, very rigid, very precise piece of literature that can be used, as many O'Reilly books can, as a handbook. So so the plan that I have with these is to use margin node and unify. So I'm using margin node 4 and unify this into knowledge base, which is navigatable and can be multi-document. I don't know. I think it's very easy to dismiss this tool. Okay, it's very easy for you to look, if you're watching it, to look at the screen of my computer and say, oh, okay, this is just another mind map tool. But no, it is not. The fact that it spans many documents and then you can connect, you select the text in your document, it creates a node, and then you can interconnect these nodes, and you can link a node to another node without connecting them as a child-parent relationship. So this way you get discoverability in your whole mind map. Like, for example, you're working with logistics, right? And then maybe you can't get your shipment because of the seawater salinity or whatever, right? Like your water line just doesn't allow to put as much cargo on your ship as you would like to, right? And then you would have your like logistics stuff, and then you have to present to your boss and say, okay, like the problem is that actually in physics of the thing. And then you can have like a completely separate part of your mind map dedicated to like the physics of logistics, like risks or blah blah blah, the way that cargo ship works and stuff. And there, of course, you will have like information about water lines, right? But it will be under some logical category within the taxonomy of physics of logistics, right? And then when you're preparing the report for your boss using margin node 4, you'd be able to link all the way across your mind map to that other thing. And the beauty of it is that you have tabs, you have splits, you can open the same document twice, you can jump here while keeping the reference open. And I kid you not, when I learned about margin node 3, I went to a shop and bought an iPad. Like literally, this was my dream when it was about academic papers. I would fucking print out I would convert my PDFs so that the margins are fucking huge, and then I would print out academic papers and I would like highlight stuff as I was reading. It was crazy. Now with margin node, like my life is different. It literally changed the way I consume written text. It's beautiful. Don't sleep on it. Use it. And that's it for the video. I'm going to go and set up my margin node mind map now. Bye. Thank you for watching the first part of 7th episode of Hyperefficient Startups, and see you tomorrow with a recording that I made today.